Are we going under it? Whoa! Oh my god! Run! Go! I am looking back! Let's begin! Art Park is a virtual dinosaur park that you can tour, which is very similar to the one seen in the Jurassic Park movies, and some parts have been completely mimicked from them. I'm not complaining about them though, because they are some of the best parts of the game. To begin with, you create your own character, but considering you play the game from a first person perspective, it does come across as a bit pointless, unless you play in the multiplayer mode. The park itself isn't a fully open world, instead you select a destination from a menu that you can bring up at any time. This is how you will teleport to each of the game's activities. There is actually quite a few gameplay elements in this game, so the welcome tutorial is worth taking a look at. The first activity is exploration, and is actually a massive portion of the game. These areas you can explore freely, but they are very small and not that open at all. At first glance they appear like a large area, but invisible walls prevent you from taking a good look around. The main appeal in these sections is finding and scanning dinosaurs. To do this you must first equip your scanner from your inventory, which is a bit troublesome. You must look at the item you want first before pressing a button. The fact that your inventory slots are wrapped around your waist forces you to look down quite far, and it can be uncomfortable with the headset on, especially when playing in a seated position. The inventory system also glitched out on me a couple of times and I was unable to equip anything. A simple restart of a level fixed it, but it is obviously unwanted hassle. Actually searching for the dinosaurs is fun and is a bit reminiscent of the Pokemon Snap game, especially as some only appear after you have interacted with something. Once a dino is scanned, its information is stored in your menu, which is a nice touch, although the descriptions here are very basic. You are also rewarded with DNA, which can be spent to unlock new tools and weapons. These tools and weapons can't instantly be used though, as you must first get the required amount of resources to craft them. These are found in the exploration areas. To gather them you must constantly press the same button over and over again, until they eventually disappear. The problem is that the amount of resources you need to make each item is quite a lot, so to carry on collecting you must keep restarting the levels for the resources to appear again. It's grindy and boring. It's nice to see elements of the Ark series make an appearance here, but because of how this game is structured, and in particular not open world, they just don't cross over well at all. The second main activity you will be taking part in is shooting galleries. The only way to advance through these though is by having more powerful weapons, so you will have to do a lot of resource gathering to play each shooting gallery. Unlike the variety in locations in the exploration mode, this mode only has 2 locations that are repeated at different times of the day. Luckily, each stage does throw different types of dinosaurs and creatures your way, so it keeps it a little bit fresh in each of the same environments. Headshots do more damage, and there are bosses at the end of each level, which are massive and do look great, as the graphics are crisp and sharp, and most importantly, the dinosaurs do look realistic. Some areas in the game are actually very scenic, but some gameplay elements get in the way of its overall beauty, like when you have your scanner equipped and you can see dinosaurs through walls. You may be thinking, okay, don't equip the scanner then, but the problem is some dinosaurs run past you very quickly and don't return to the level again until you restart the level, so having the scanner equipped just saves time. It's also annoying because you already have to keep restarting the levels to gather resources. The game really didn't need another reason. Loading screens are always immersion breaking in 3R games, and this game forces you into them so much more than what could have been necessary. The game does come with online multiplayer, but unfortunately I was unable to find someone to play with on the servers, so I did have to watch a gameplay video of it online. In multiplayer you can actually explore the whole park and take part in the activities with other people, which would likely be a bit of fun and make the game a bit more enjoyable overall. The game can be played with a DualShock controller or 2 Move controllers. I found playing with the DualShock to be the better control type, and after a while I actually turned teleportation on, as it moved me more quickly through the areas that I had to keep returning to for resources. Immersion wise, playing with the moves is better as you can pick up and rotate things, and it makes the shooting galleries slightly more enjoyable, but because of all the moving around in the world, I did want that part of the game to progress more quickly. There are also a couple of other things you can do in the game. The first is exploring the Welcome Centre, which visually looks stunning when you first arrive, but it soon becomes apparent that the large building has very little to keep you entertained. You can hold a few mini dinosaurs for more info on them, and can spawn massive ones which are entertaining as they are animated, but they don't do much for long at all. After your first visit here, I doubt you will return. The other part of the game is hatching dinosaur eggs. You can feed the dinosaurs, and when the dinos have grown into adults, you can ride them. Riding them is fun for the first time, but because they are on a set path and you have no control over them, it makes second outings not much fun at all. The problem with this part of the game is the fact that hatching the eggs requires real world time to pass by. It's like a mobile game timer, and is very out of place here. Further preventing you from actually playing parts of the game when you want is the real world day and night cycle that appears in the game itself, in the exploration stages. Some dinosaurs only come out at certain times, so if you want to scan everything, you will have to work your real life routine around it. It wouldn't be too much of a problem if the game had many things to occupy you with whilst you wait, but it's an incredibly short experience overall. It took me around 2 hours and 45 minutes to see most of what the game has to offer. Sorry guys, I just wasn't prepared to wait for the eggs to hatch. The trophies do increase gameplay time, but do so in the worst way possible. There's some here that require you to kill a certain amount of dinosaurs, the most being 5,000, which would be a massive and boring grind. You also have to ride the buggy for 10 times. It's not really something to be proud of, and neither is feeding a dinosaur 100 times. Luckily there are some decent ones here, like scanning for creatures and crafting a few tools, but overall it's a terrible list for such a big name title. The more you play Ark Park, the more it comes across as a rushed game. It certainly isn't at the quality you would expect for a full price game, especially content wise. The fact that the game doesn't have a platinum also reflects that it is not up to the standards of an expensive title. I would have been very disappointed if I had paid full price for this, and I really wouldn't have liked being reminded that I could buy DLC. It really should have been included in the game, or came as a free update. Visually it does look amazing, and if you simply read what the game has to offer, it does sound like a Jurassic Park fan's dream. But some horrible gameplay choices just hurts the game's fun overall. It wasn't all doom and gloom, as I must admit, searching for dinosaurs in a new area for the first time, and being chased in a buggy by a T-Rex was very enjoyable. It just lacks polish overall, and how some things were overlooked, I honestly don't know. Like when a dinosaur disappears from your view, but when you search for it with your scanner, you see it in a static pose at the end of its animation. It does remind you of the game creation process, which obviously breaks the immersion. The unnecessary waiting around and over the top grinding will certainly test the patience of even the most hardcore dinosaur fans. It's quite a hard game to recommend. This really could have been an amazing experience. It really is a shame. If you want to see me and Beat play the game in our brand new comical video series, there is a video of it on screen right now. As always, if you found this review helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.